Hello, white people. I have a very disturbing news story here. Man dies after teens intentionally set him on fire. Teens facing murder charges. This is March 16th, 2021, Rochester, New York. The man who suffered 2nd and 3rd-degree burns over 70% of his body after he was set on fire in his Lyell Avenue apartment has died, according to the Rochester Police Department. Police say 53-year-old Stephen Ammenhouse was intentionally set on fire Friday. Two teenagers identified as 16-year-old Xavion Perry and 14-year-old Adriel Riley Jr., you can only guess their race, allegedly sprayed the man with an ignitable liquid before setting him aflame as he was sitting in a chair. Police arrested Perry and Riley and charged them both with first-degree assault and second-degree arson in connection to the incident. Tuesday, after Ammenhouse died from his injuries, Perry and Riley were charged with second-degree murder. The Monroe County District Attorney's Office said Perry will be charged as an adolescent offender and Riley a juvenile offender. Well, that doesn't make any sense. They committed adult crimes. Riley will remain in youth part where adolescent offenders and juvenile offenders remain subject to criminal liability as adults, and neither will be transferred to family court. Perry is being held on $50,000 cash bail, $100,000 secured bond, and $150,000 partially secured bond. Riley is being held no bail, no release. We will be working with the Monroe County District Attorney's Office in regards to upgrading charges against the individuals previously charged, Rochester Police Captain Frank Umbrino said in a statement Tuesday morning. Police said Monday the victim and suspects are not related and it was not a domestic violence incident. On Tuesday, Captain Frank Umbrino released more details about the incident during a press conference. Umbrino said Ammenhouse lived in the Lyell Avenue apartment by himself, and he was originally from Texas. They said he was adopted and has no family in his life. Police radio calls from last Friday detailed that Ammenhouse went to a grocery store across from his apartment at around 12:20 p.m. on Friday. The clerk at the store told News 10 NBC's Berkeley Breen, what a weird name, Breen, that they had turned all their security video over to police. Police said Ammenhouse went back to his apartment, and that's when he was set on fire. Umbrino said Ammenhouse ran out of the apartment, and first responders rendered aid. He said the two teenagers gave fake names at the scene and that they do know each other. Umbrino said Ammenhouse was vulnerable and declining in health. They said Perry and Riley hung out in the neighborhood, but that there is no indication as of yet that they had a familiar relationship with Ammenhouse. Riley was already wanted on a warrant for robbery in connection to an incident in Gates from back in September, and that he was arrested again in December for an October robbery in Rochester and for allegedly stealing a vehicle in January, according to Umbrino. A juvenile warrant was issued for him on March 5th. Perry and Riley are scheduled to be arraigned on Wednesday. What a tragedy. What an absolute tragedy. You know, our weak and vulnerable are subjected to the violence of these savages that we are forced to live around. Absolutely sad. You know, when I was still living in Vancouver, Washington, and I would see elderly people riding around, because they made the sidewalks really wide where I live, so older people and disabled people can ride around on their electronic scooters. And I just see these people as victims, as diversity. Future victims of diversity. God, just an absolute travesty. So, I guess the moral to the story is whenever you become so weak that you can't defend yourself, make sure that you have good relationships with people so that you don't end up being a victim like this guy. All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.